Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Bob Pompeani. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot to get into. Steelers 7-0, and one of only 38 teams to start a season 7-0. The other 37 have made it to the playoffs. 10 of those won a championship, so it's a tremendous start when you consider how this game began statistically. We're going to devote a lot of our time to talking Steelers-Ravens, and we'll also get into some baseball topics a little later in the program, but the #1 topic tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown will be Steelers come from behind win over the Ravens 28-24, and here to debate and discuss is your panel. Rich Walsh joins me over there in Studio B. It's the Fan Cave. We have Andrew Fillipponi up at 93.7 The Fan. Colin Dunlap at home. He's ready to go to bed because he's got to be up early in the morning. So we're going to start with you, Colin, right off the bat. Tell me how you would describe this win today, because the word that comes to mind for me is gutsy. They were beat up in every statistical category, but they still won the game.
I agree with you. It's not college. There's not pollsters. We don't have to worry about that. In the NFL, Bob, a win is a win is a win is a win, and that's where I am with this. The second half showed me a lot. I thought there were times on defense that Tuitt was the best player in the field, no question. I thought there were times on offense where Ben just ad-libbed. He did what he wanted to do. He made it a backyard football game. And my gosh, are we seeing the strides that Juju made in the weight room, making an extra yard here, an extra yard there, and just bulldogging people. And I thought Juju had a great game in terms of making plays and making a few extra yards when they needed to be made.
Hey, for me, it's a team win. I look at it as a team win. They needed all three teams, all three phases here, defense, offense, special teams. I mean, the defense played bad at times, but they were very opportunistic. The offense obviously played bad in the first half, but took advantage of a couple turnovers there. And you look at the stats, I mean, 457 yards for the Ravens compared to 221. And look at the rushing yards. I mean, the Steelers are supposed to be the #1 rushing defense, but they gave up 265 yards on the ground. I just thought this was a complete team win. And, you know, this proved to me that they can win any which way. This is such a great win for this team. I mean, and looking ahead, I'm pretty optimistic. I like the way they won this game.
Well, they did the impossible. They did what had never been done before. Every time Lamar Jackson went into halftime for his orange slices and Gatorade and would take his 12-minute breather, you know, the Ravens would come out in the second half and they would win. And he was undefeated, 22-0 in the regular season in these spots. And for the Steelers to make up a double-digit deficit, to Bob's point, speaks to their resilience. They didn't give up. They didn't quit. I like Colin's point on Juju. If you question the guy's heart and how much he loves football, you don't know what you're talking about. Put on the tape of some of those runs where he needed an extra yard or two for a pivotal first down. And, you know, his game, Bob, I thought personified the Steelers' offense because he was nowhere to be found in the first half. And you could say the same thing about the entire Steelers' offensive unit. But they made clutch plays. They made big plays. And you said it on the postgame, Bob. You were exactly right. The Highsmith interception changed the entire complexion of the game.
Yeah, well, that play, and he's really, when he's getting in there, opportunities to do things. But I also want to get you guys to talk about Robert Spillane, who had a pick six, but also 11 tackles, 10 of those solo, tackles for losses, 2 pass defenses. It seems like he's getting better going back. So, Andrew, start with you on this one. I thought while there were times where he got bowled over, and I think everyone on that defense did because of that run game, I thought overall he played a very good football game. And does that change your opinion about moving forward here with the trade deadline coming up on Tuesday?
I mean, I'd still like some help. I mean, he plays really hard. The one thing I think, whenever you put an undrafted free agent guy into the mix, you wonder if they're going to be tentative, if they're going to be shy, if they're going to think too much. It's a fast game. And there's a reason why guys typically aren't drafted. And to get thrown in like this guy, I do think that he's playing at full speed. Now, we saw at times that got taken advantage of, but I think the Steelers' defense got creative. We saw 3 outside linebackers on the field at the same time in given moments. So, look, I'd still like to see them make a deal for some depth. You know, maybe that depth now has to be on the defensive line. We'll see what happens with Alualu. Yeah, I give Spillane a passing grade again today, but, you know, there's still 9 games left on the Steelers' schedule. They can always use a depth trade, in my opinion.
If anybody has a problem with Robert Spillane at this point, they're trying too hard, I think. I thought he was going to be good before he played a game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought he was good in Tennessee. I thought he was good again today. And I think that he's going to continue to progress and continue to be good. He puts his nose in there. He gets his nose where it needs to be. Look, The Steelers didn't get burned by Robert Spillane, if you remember. They got burned by another terrible coaching situation where they had Vince Williams trying to run with a number 80-something, which is always bad news, and they always get caught with their pants down in a situation like that. Robert Spillane.
But Colin, we know now they don't want to play Marcus Allen. They want nothing to do with that guy. So now if Vince or Spillane goes down, you're really screwed. That's why I think they need to make a trade to help out those guys before Tuesday.
Plus no depth. Ulysses Gilbert, I mean, he wasn't able to play with a back injury. I mean, they were already thin without Devin Bush, and that is a prime position for the Steelers. You saw what happened when Ryan Shazier was hurt. You look, Robert Spillane is doing an adequate job right now. He's making highlight plays, and that's what we see. That's what we see.
Can you get off it, Rich? Can you get off it?
He's been
doing
good.
An adequate job. He was the best player on the field for a couple series the last couple weeks. You guys bury this dude, and all he does is make plays. I don't understand why. And I'm mad at this point. It was cute last week. Why can't you give this guy his credit? Why can't you admit he's a good football player?
He's done everything he should have been asked to do.
He is a good football player. He's not Devin Bush, though.
No one's Devin Bush, though. You're not going to replace Devin Bush.
Super Bowl. I mean, can you hide this guy? Are people going to start catching up to him? Are things going to start catching up to him?
He had a pick six and ran it in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too proud to admit that he's exceeded my expectations. He's done way better than I thought he would. But I think it would also be incorrect to say that he was great today. He made some big plays. He also gave up some big plays.
You can say that about everybody. You can say that about everyone on that defense.
You'd say that about T.J. Watt?
I'm saying, all right, a couple times, yes, in terms of over-pursuing a play. I mean, there are mistakes out there. If you look at the secondary, Minka Fitzpatrick had his share. In that game, Baltimore made an effort to do what they do best, and a lot of people had, plays where they were not involved as much as they should have. And that includes Robert Spillane, but I'm saying that guy.
You're not piling on him. You're not killing him if you think they need to make a trade
to
add to that position.
I'm not saying that, but there was a thought that you needed a front-line guy. I don't think you need a front-line guy. You need support guys. You need warm bodies.
Yeah, okay.
But if you can make a trade and get better, why don't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it if you can make a trade and get better? You have no depth at that point, at that position.
You also have no room in the salary cap.
Because he played in college both positions. They're going to bounce Highsmith inside a little bit if they get in a bind with Ulysses Gilbert now being hurt. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get him on the football field. He's going to play inside just a little bit, and they don't have to make a trade. Highsmith will be on the field.
All right, he looked pretty good today. He continues to get better and learns from his own mistakes, as he told T.J. Watt after the game. When we come back, we're going to talk about the offensive side of this and also look ahead. They have 3 games. They're going to be favored. In fact, they may be favored the rest of the year for all we know. They're in that good of a position. What can we expect looking down the road? We'll do that, and we got some baseball talk coming up. Both Chris Archer and another injury for the Pirates. That's all next, right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.